Hello, everyone. I'm not your host, Duhad. I'm Kit, also known as Colonel the Frog, and this is Star Wars D6, the second party's adventures. Um, that is the reason why Duhad is not here, because Duhad is part of the other party. Joining me today are Winter,
Hello.
Time Knight,
What's up?
and Morat.
Hello.
Later in the recording, we may be joined by Moonstruck Ragamuffin, but we may not. In any case, when last we left our heroes, they were on the asteroid space station of Borgo Prime, and they had just acquired themselves a fancy new hyperdrive.
Oh boy.
Mostly because Rosa had been kind of sort of possessed by the Force and ripped apart the old one.
That keeps happening.
Was
We need,
not
to keep,
great.
we need to keep Rosa away from hyperdrives. Because that happens.
Anyway, so our little group of protagonists here, Brass, Chalk, and Galena, now have to decide exactly what they're going to go investigate in this missing case of an Alderani trade magnate named Ornan Paul.
We had two
Last time we'd gotten
options. Yeah.
essentially two lines. One was he had been spotted around some of the colonies, new colonies out in wild space, and you had also gotten a vision of something terrible happening in the deep galactic core.
Okay, so
Wild space
So-
seems a little better for finding. For finding him because we actually have people who say it's there, but mysterious vision.
Yeah, but like it's a mysterious vision from Force users, so there's that. But that being said, do we know which way the other group went?
You know that they were initially going to go ahead and head off to the planet Gamlin, or at least what they assume to be the planet Gamlin. But they have since the Jade Falcon has since upshift and left out of here, and you don't know exactly where they have in fact gone.
Okay, so if they were checking out that lead, we'd probably want to head towards the core worlds. Not that, you know.
I should note here, when I say core, I don't mean the core worlds. I mean the deep core.
Oh yeah, that place that is really really treacherous to go into hyperspace in.
That's the one. Deeply,
Hmm.
densely packed stars, lots of black holes. It's kind of, sort of terra incognita. Because of the fact that, yeah, it's really hard to go in hyperspace around.
Yeah.
Some of what you might know out of galactic history is that the Empire did have a few like secret depots and that sort of stuff out of there. There was kind of a mess when the Empire revealed that it had fallback in the deep core named Ice. None of you probably has much real information about that, but you do know that there were super weapons that came from that planet. So yeah, I mean, it is extremely treacherous astrographically.
Yeah.
oof.
And I'm not the greatest of pilots, so
And
we'd have to take it slow.
and trying out this new hyperdrive in an area where a normal hyperdrive using a normal hyperdrive is dangerous. Well, I don't really like those odds.
If we can get there, it would be fun, but getting there is kind of scary.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
So you're saying that due to the fact that we have a new experimental hyperdrive that we were told is extremely fast.
it's a risk. I'm willing to take that risk if you guys want to.
I mean, I don't exactly have anything more pressing to do.
Yeah, as assumed. Nor do I, other than our 2 leads, which we're deciding from.
Yeah. No, the core world. If we were going to the deep core, it would, we'd probably only have to go. We probably wouldn't have to go too deeply into it, due to the fact that they don't want to go too deeply into it.
You hope.
I
Alright.
really hope.
Well, maybe he's one of the people who tried to go deep into it and he got stuck there.
I mean, I know enough about different kinds of different kinds of warp, or different kinds of hazards in hyperspace, but not this particular type of stuff that they have there. However, what we might want to do is try to stop at an outpost outside of it and see if we can find somebody who had some fairly recent astrogation charts, and then see if we can make it easier.
Yeah. That
Assuming I don't have astrogation charts already. Look through knowing that it's not there. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's the fact that new ones would have more updated, like, because one of the things is some of the movement of the entities in the deep core are kind of unpredictable. So we're looking for stuff that is, more recent.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I guess that's a
Anyone know a location of said outpost? Or are we gonna have to go dig around?
Unlikely that any of you would have any line on that, actually. Brass would be the most likely to, and the way that you've been talking, it sounds like Brass has not tried to explore the deep core.
Not yet.
But like they're like knowing a trading post there would probably be fairly simple for people who are actually from the Republic, which unfortunately Alita is not.
Yes
so,
and no. So here's the deal. The deep core is actually bordered by some very prosperous and very, heavily civilized worlds, because the core itself is one of the most densely populated regions of the galaxy. The deep core, however, is pretty much not gone into because it is considered so dangerous. There's one major hyperroute that's known of through the deep core. And it might be getting out of date at this point. And that's the one to Biss. This place, one of the two.
I was talking about like a border planet.
Oh, like I said, you could go to a number of, very, very big planets. The issue is that, there is also one other major planet that is actually within the deep core, and that's the Empress Theta system. Outside of that, though, yeah, there's big worlds all around it, one of which includes Coruscant, but there's not really anything out there. The most likely thing that you would find is, small exploring companies and archaeological surveys going in there, but
maybe
that's
we can,
very low-level stuff.
Maybe we could find some of my old folks. But probably not.
I mean, but like, if there's one to Biss, my character would not know any of this stuff, because we were behind this basically, I forget what they're called.
You were still isolated at the time of the Dark Empire crisis.
Yeah. So, Brass pulls up a few star charts that he...
You would have zero idea about them.
Yeah, Brass kind of flips through the star charts that he's mapped out on his own, kind of looking for anything, but probably nothing will show up.
With the history that you've talked to me about, you're more likely to have stuff on the Outer Rim and the edges of wild space in both Galactic North and Galactic South.
Fair.
Hmm.
A little bit on the unknown regions, but probably not that either.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure someone could.
Isn't Coruscant a core world?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said that. He just said that.
No,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
the character.
Galena asking the characters. Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I have some. Yeah, I've heard that for sure.
If
But
anybody
for
would
the
have
record,
that
the answer for
information.
you is yes, Coruscant is a core world. It is the example of core worlds. It's the capital of the galaxy.
I see.
It's not a deep core world.
Right. But if there were astrogation charts to be had, I think we could get one. I thought we could probably get one from some of the government offices, if you guys, keep records of that sort of thing.
Why would the government have that and not like an exploration company?
Because tactical readouts, you guys also try to keep track of pirate activity and things of that nature.
You're saying you guys. Who exactly are you mentioning?
The Republic. We are we were a rather new addition to it, and so we still haven't fully integrated.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we are kind of autonomous anyway.
Well,
So, in character to Chalk and Brass, no, the Republic does not have nearly that level of centralized oversight. You can probably guess that maybe the Happens do about their own cluster, but it's not that way in the larger galaxy.
well, maybe back in your own area, you have true oversight over everything, the chaos that would be, but Coruscant's not like that, and we're not like that either.
It's easier for us to manage because we're only 100 or so worlds, but it's also like I thought that maybe they would have something, but maybe you were right about the Explorer Company thing. Would they have offices on Coruscant?
Probably. I would bet. If anything, if the exploration company was on Coruscant, they would have that general area.
You might also know this, Brass. Go ahead and give me a knowledge roll.
Just regular knowledge.
Yeah. Actually, go ahead and post your character sheets, please.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
okay. Let me see if I can do that.
Yeah, I'll be sending you mine shortly. Just
Okay.
seeing
3d6
something
plus
else.
1, that's the wild die. 10.
10. Okay. Give me a second here while I make sure that there isn't. Did you say that was a 1 on the wild die?
No, that's a 4 on the wild die.
Ah, okay.
There was another die that had a 1 on it.
Okay, I'm just taking a look here. Go ahead. Well, let's see. Knowledge is 3d plus 1. Roll another 1d for me, please.
4.
4. Okay. Yeah. You're using astrogation for this just because.
Yeah, fair enough.
Within your field.
Yeah.
So the deal is that Coruscant is the seat of government. It is one of the most densely populated worlds. There might be something there. It's too heavily packed of a planet for there to be not something there. You might not know where it is, though. That being said, Abregado Ray is often known as the library planet. So you might be able to get some extra information there. There might be, groups that would go ahead and buy information there.
Mm-hmm. So there's a planet, we call it the library planet. It has pretty much everything in paper that we need, and there's likely to be people trying to sell information that they're trading that out, and probably some good maps.
Mm. All right. Do you have the credits to pay for information if we need it?
See.
I don't have a lot myself, but I'm sure if me and Chuck pitched in, if we all pitched in a bit, we can make it.
I don't know if
I
we
do not.
if
Go ahead,
need be,
sorry.
I could probably pay with it if in information like I did last time, if that's what they're looking for. But
I mean,
I
it
can
is
always do that.
likely. Yeah.
I guess
I
that
do
would
not
be
believe the currency I carry is currently tradable in the Republic, but I don't know. Maybe we can find an exchange somewhere.
At this point, you'd easily be able to get Republic credits.
Yeah, I mean, they kept their own currency at this point, but it is like there is an official exchange, right? Like,
Yeah. My point is also that you'd probably be using Republic credits at this point. You're far enough from Happen-space that that's the thing.
yeah. I just haven't been here very long, so it's like.
Well, if you want to trade out that cash, I'm sure they have somewhere to do that on site right here.
All right. Well, I'll do that, and if you'll get the ship prepped,
Yeah,
we'll
I'll
head
do a
to
run
the
around.
Abrogado Bay. So,
Yeah.
alright.
So, do we have coordinates for Avogado Ray?
Yeah, it's a major world. It's on one of the major hyperlanes. You shouldn't have a trouble getting to it.
Yeah. All right.
You'll have to jump between a couple of hyperlanes to get to it, but yeah, not a big deal.
Yeah. So, Brass will start making the path, coordinating that path.
Okay.
I have no idea how much money I would have. So
Probably not terribly large enough, but hopefully it'll be enough for you. Anyway, so Brass, go ahead and make me a mechanical astrogation.
Mechanical aspiration, which is 2d
Maybe
plus
plus
2. Yeah. This dice that's not my force dice is continuously rolling ones, so that's scary.
Well,
10.
at least it's not force die.
Yeah, at least. 10.
Okay. All right then. And so Graham, you're going to go and try and get your money changed?
mhm.
Okay. So
Let's see.
Is there a standard exchange?
you would hope.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to roll, don't you? Okay.
I want you to post your character sheet.
I'm working on that.
Yeah. Sorry, I was fixing something inside the house, or outside the house, but I'm going back for that, and I will send it because it's open on my laptop. Oh. Da-da.
Come on, open.
I am sorry for the silence. We are now hypnotically going through the space-time continuum.
You'll now
Listen.
bless you a cappella version of the Star Wars theme. Please do not actually start doing this. This would be terrible.
It would be terrible.
And might get a copyright strike.
Let's not.
To the poor
Let's
state.
not screw April over.
Well,
Okay.
hey, everything's alright today, as long as we say April Fools.
I suppose that would make April look like a fool, yes?
Okay.
Especially
So,
because this won't be up.
It should be in the chat now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I see it. Go ahead and roll straight knowledge for this.
Da-da-da, da-da-da. And I have a
3D.
3D. Because I actually built my character tanky this time. That would be a 14.
14. Okay. You are definitely able to find what appears to be an automated station that if you're getting this Republic Arbesh writing right, it says Cred Star at the top of it. It's got a little slot there for you to put in a currency, and then it will give you cred sticks out of it.
Okay. I don't actually have any currency on my sheet, but
That's okay. You can go ahead and put it in there.
but yeah, I'll put the money in and see, and take whatever cred stick it pops out.
Okay.
Or are they just like, are they? Is it like a cred stick with money loaded on already, or is it just like, yeah?
Yeah. Minus a processing fee.
Yeah.
That's expected.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
You can go ahead and take the cred stick and head back to the ship.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to then check that at an ATM type thing and make sure that it actually gave me money, and I'm not just walking around with an empty cred stick.
The cred stick itself actually has something on it that you can press to check the amount that's on it. And yes, you do have money.
All right.
When you come back, Brass is like looking through his equipment bag, like, okay, I have that. Just because he has a lot of stuff in his bag. You don't want to lose a thermal flare when you need it.
Okay. So you're gonna go ahead and fly out of here, or was there anything else that you wanted to do on Borgo Prime?
I don't have anything, unless any of you do.
Nah, I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right.
Let's go.
Start up the ship. Get out of the mass shadow. This is pretty standard piloting.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Hit that hyperdrive.
Okay, roll space transport.
If you like.
3D. 14.
14. Okay, cool.
Let's get out of here.
You make this look easy. You line up with style, fly on out. You got a real sexy ship, so, people go ahead and watch as you go by.
Yeah.
Hit the thrusters, get on out to the limit of the mass shadow so you can actually enter hyperspace. Throw that lever. Boom. You're into, the blue tunnel space of hyperspace, and then just as immediately the ship lurches, and there's a sun ahead of you, and it is just filling the cockpit.
Pull away, pull away, pull away.
Yeah, roll me that spaceship piloting, would you?
Yeah.
The shield display, by the way, is screaming. And it's getting very hot in here.
13. Wow. I'm rolling really well today.
It's a good thing, too. Okay. You are able to go ahead and pull your ship around so that the sun is no longer filling the cockpit. You're probably blinking after image out of your eyes, even through the polarized transparent steel. That is just not a good time.
Yeah.
I thought you said you were a capable pilot.
I am. I'm not used to this engine. This engine surprised me. I was planning on turning.
So, just as a point here, when you say, I am a capable pilot, a panel bursts into a shower of sparks behind you.
Oh, boy, I'm kind of starting to regret, something's...
Come on, Chuck, I took you there. You should know that this thing's secure, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, well... Yeah. I mean, it didn't do this last time. I don't think.
We had a different engine last time.
All of you are starting to sweat quite heavily. The heat is still rising.
Okay.
Are we? It's in the way of another star or sun.
My you
Perception check.
Essentially, what you've done is you've arrested your headlong plunge towards the sun. You've been able to turn the cockpit away from it, but that's still the sun, and it's still pretty close to your ship.
Okay.
Or maybe you should say the other way around. Your ship's still pretty close to a sun. And it's a big, bright, blue-white one.
Oh god.
Don't know if you know anything about black-body radiation, but science lesson, folks. Blue-white stars are much hotter than yellow stars.
Mm-hmm.
So, you mind putting some more space between us and that huge star there?
Yeah, let's go.
Go ahead and roll that.
Alright, we got a 1 on the fate dice, finally.
Oh, shit.
And a 9.
And a 9. Okay, yeah, you line up right up on the approach. Go ahead and shove the throttle forward and silence.
No. Not. Bang! Just like he's banging on the table. On the thing. Go!
Did you remember to turn off the parking brake?
Yes.
Hmm.
I blame this goddamn engine!
Pokes his head into the cockpit. Hey guys, it's getting kind of hot here.
Oh,
Yeah.
you noticed.
Your engine won't turn on!
Mm-hmm.
So,
He's blaming it on the new engine.
So is this
I mean, it's the only thing that's changed!
Mm-hmm.
Unless the...
happen with your fancy new hyperdrive?
Not even once.
So we are back to square.
-1.
Confidence. Try restarting the impulse engines.
Fine.
The heat from the sun may have overloaded them when we arrived.
Possibly. That would make sense, at least. Should I... What would I roll for that?
Well, that would still be more space transport.
Alright. Oh boy, another one! All my luck is gone!
Something tells me I should fly.
8. How much space transport do you have?
I don't have any, but my mechanical is pretty high.
I mean, I'm just rolling 3Ds.
What is my mechanical?
Okay, so you got an 8 in total?
Yeah.
Okay, you try doing the immortal thing that tech support always tells you to do. Turn it off and on again. Silence. Hey, Chuck, don't you have something called system diagnosis?
Yeah, I do have that. I'll try using that. Okay, that's okay, 3D plus D plus 2 plus 2, so that's like 4D plus 1, right?
Correct.
Alrighty, let's give her a old rolleroo. Let's roll. One. Let's see. Let's see. What did I? What was that? Oh man, it doesn't look like I've got much more luck than Winter did. I got an 8, and I believe the force die is a 1.
Oh no! Oh no!
Well, you turn to the console.
That's now my force dice. I'm changing with that. Yeah, I don't know.
And you realize that, remember how I mentioned that panel burst into sparks?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, technically it's a 1 play with the. I mean, technically it's 9.
Okay,
I forgot
that's
that.
okay. You remember how I mentioned how a panel burst into sparks just as Brass was saying I am a good pilot?
Yeah.
It's a real shame that was the main system diagnosis panel on the ship.
Of course it
Well.
was.
Well,
Now, I mean,
this is just.
good news, bad news. I mean, you can still do system diagnostics. There are ways of getting around that, but your fingers are getting a little bit burned by sparks as you try to. This might not be the place to do it from. You might have to get a little bit more creative, figure out another way to get into the droid brain of this particular ship and see if you can't do better.
Okay, is there like a way that I can do that?
Alright,
of course.
plug all the wires into my data pad. Let's see if I can make a new monitor.
I'm going to go back to the engine room and look for a direct console.
Okay. Do you have any sort of tech?
I have a 3 in tech.
First aid
but I had
repair.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean you can definitely look for a console.
Maybe actually I'll go with her.
Okay.
Just to see if I can do that.
That is a 12.
12. Okay.
I guess I roll another.
Oh, I mean, first things first. Wow, this looks nothing like the ship engine rooms that you're used to. I mean, just looks like a. Oh, I mean, maybe it's not just like a dirty, dingy industrial space like the ones that those Jedi had on their like blocky slab-sided ship. And maybe they do have curves here, but I mean, they just don't have the nice painted-on enamel colors or the finely matched color palettes going on here. Really, it's just all too industrial for you.
You gotta treat yourself with your ships.
Yeah.
When you go into this engine room, you marvel once again that, with the exception of that strange field state hyperdrive that's sitting in the center of the engine room, just how wonderfully smooth and organically flowing all the lines are in this place. It's really a work of art.
Okay. So.
That being said, yeah, you are able to find a direct access panel. It was under a flip-up lid, and you might be able to do better from here. You can hope.
Okay. I'll roll system diagnostics again.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, let's see here. 40 plus 1. Okay, that's a little bit better now. That is 13.
13. Okay. You're able to tell it's not actually the engines that are the issue at the moment. It's the fuel feed.
Fuel. All right.
Okay. Goddamn! Did I not fill up before we left? No.
No, nothing like that. Just it appears that the ionic pumps are not working.
Yeah, I relay this information to everybody. Well, funnily enough, it's not the weird new engine that changed. It's the fuel feeders got something messed up with the ion whatever thing.
Yeah.
Who's supposed to be the one fixing the ship?
That's a good question. Who is?
That person died a month ago.
Did he? What?
Backstory.
No. You brought it up. What happened to this poor person?
Alright.
Was it your last attempt to fly?
No, it was
Hey,
not.
Lay off.
My
Lay off.
Alright. So I used to have a group of Gungans with me, and I took them on my very ventures, and they started dying. And that one was the last one to die. I've kind of been lonely before I got picked up by whatever the corporation is that we were hired by.
The Borneo trading fleet.
Yeah, by the Borneo.
Sorry, the Bor-Aran trading fleet.
Yeah.
But what Brass is not telling you is that it was a very large monster. Frog legs.
Ooh, okay. So, let's see. Anybody have any like repair skills?
I don't have any for a ship. No.
Well, you could try going ahead and cycling the systems now that you know what's actually wrong.
Let's try. I don't know what skill that would be.
This would be space transport again.
Alright, we can try. Why is now when I switch my die, the die that never rolled a 1, and then when I switch to my fate die, it rolls a 1? 10.
With one, you say?
Yeah, 10 with a 1.
Also, welcome, Moonstruck.
Hey.
You are now on a ship with Brass, Chuck, and Galena, on which you have gone ahead and retrofitted the super special hyperdrive on while possessed by the Force. And on the first jump, Brass nearly drove it into the sun.
Well,
Also,
I mean,
the satellite engines aren't working.
oh, great. Guess I'll have to work on those now.
It has been diagnosed that the ionic fuel pumps are the issue at the moment. That being said, just as you say that, there's a loud bang.
Ooh, okay.
Good news, bad news, Brass. Good news, you've got a vector away from the sun. Bad news, there was a loud bang.
Okay. Well, I can't do much from
Our
the
ships never working properly. So
I don't know,
always
something
bad
about crashing
happens.
them into planets or something?
This
Now
hasn't
we've
even
upgraded
crashed
to
into
much
a
larger entity.
Oh god.
So since we're in the engine room, is that where the loud bang occurred?
No, not exactly. It sounded more like it was in the belly of the ship.
Can I roll a hearing to determine the exact location?
Oh, yes, go right ahead.
But would it be mechanical?
No, this would be perception.
Oh yeah, I forgot perception
Yeah,
is a
I'm
skill.
gonna go ahead
Yeah.
and look for that too.
Okay. Don't bother, you can see it.
Oh lord. This isn't good.
16.
Why, that sounded exactly like the sound of an exploding ionic fuel pump.
Oh boy!
Why, that looks exactly like the shattered remains of what used to be a very nice ionic fuel pump.
Well, I guess.
Let me guess. There's not a spare.
Oh, no, there's 2 engines on this ship. But, yeah, definitely one of them is down.
So,
And the safety systems have locked out the engines from use. It simply to, keep you from doing terrible, terrible things.
Stupid safety measures. They always get you in trouble.
Okay, so
no, usually it's the pilot or the person who reassembled the drive.
okay.
For the
don't know
record,
what you're
Rosa, you didn't touch that bit.
Nope.
Okay, let's see.
Maybe we just didn't try a threshold test before we started, and therefore we're having some incompatibilities. This is why things go into development for years.
So Galena is just going on about the kind of stuff that she's heard engineers speak of in the Happen Hollow vids, apparently.
She actually she was in the Navy, like, so she was She does
Yes,
know
you have no
why.
technical skills towards ship repair and such.
That's true, but she was in the mess with them, so like she did hear them talking.
It's about the same thing, really.
Yeah.
Let's see.
She just didn't understand what she was listening to for the most part.
Moonstruck, 40 plus 1.
Gladly. Oh, what the hell?
Hopefully you can roll
Seriously?
better than I.
What the fuck? I swear to God, kid.
Is that the sound of you cursing because you rolled a 1 on your wild die?
No, I rolled 2 6s.
Okay.
Then a 4.
That's still a lot better than anything I've ever rolled in Star Wars D6.
Nice. So 20.
20. Okay, yeah, that'll definitely work. Okay, so you go ahead and you go down to the cargo bay of the ship where you can see that the ionic fuel pumps draw the fuel from the fuel tanks. One of them is shredded. It's just completely non-functional, and you're probably going to need to go ahead and cut off that fuel tank entirely. The other one should be able to be routed so it will feed both of the engines. But there are going to be issues with fuel here because you're essentially going to be working on half reserve. And frankly, it's going to be a little harder to fly this thing just because of the mass imbalance that's going to be involved.
Oh boy.
But on the other hand, hey, the engines will be working.
Yeah. Better
On
than
the other hand,
burning in
I'm
the
not
sun.
going to, fall into a sun.
That is
Okay.
the upshot, yes.
So, do
So yeah, you
we
do your
actually
thing and the engines
know?
start humming again.
So do we actually know where we are relative to the library planet?
We're probably so far off.
Yeah, Rosa,
Yep.
this space actually seems kind of familiar. Almost crystally, one could say. You had a planet
Son of a
crash before.
bitch!
Or, sorry,
Son of a
crashed to a planet here
bitch.
before. You were in a different ship then.
Well, let's try to get out of here again. I guess.
Did you guys do a sweeper, sensor sweep? And I'll look too, but is there like a jammer of some sort?
Like a
Perception? Yeah,
I forget what the ships are called. But
You would say like a pulse mass mine?
yeah,
That's it.
have we not
That's
encountered?
what Washington called it.
For the record, Graham, your character would not think of interdictors; they would think of pulse mass mines.
Well, I'll do a check.
This will be pretty easy. Just go ahead and roll your spaceship piloting again.
All
It's
right,
going to be a
spaceship
bit of a
piloting.
disadvantage because this is technically sensors.
9.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to be anything. I mean, that being said, you are in the mass shadow of a star, so that's more likely to be what actually happened. Like,
yeah, but Rosa wouldn't know that.
you don't detect like any military-grade gravity well generators or anything else similar to it. This is more just you ran yourself into a star. You didn't properly account for just how fast this thing is.
Yeah. Well, let's try to get out of here and hopefully not run into another star.
Yeah, and maybe get another fuel pack. Tank? Tank.
16.
Yeah. I would like to ask a question. Do I recognize Rosa's accent?
You very well could. You've been to Dathomir before. I don't believe Rosa makes any bones about the fact that he is Dathomiri.
Nope.
Actually, aren't you still pretty much wearing Dathomiri clothing at this point?
Yep.
Yeah, you know he's Dathomiri.
So, okay. He's still a male, but
He's a male Dathomiri young adult who's carrying a lightsaber and you know is force sensitive.
Mhm.
Actually, frankly, you might know specifically who he is just because of the fact that he would kind of sort of be news going to the Jedi Order.
That's true, especially because there would have been some bones about it amongst the witches who I interacted with some.
There very well might have been some. Yeah, but he is definitely a known quantity who went off to the Order, and they would also probably know that he studies under Master Mara Jade Skywalker.
Hmm. So I'm going to drop some of the basic Dathomiri that I learned on planet to talk with the to communicate with the locals in curse words as I look at the damage in the ship.
Okay, Dathomiri is pretty close to basic, but sure, different curse words.
But yeah, it I thought it was kind of I thought it was different.
No, it is not.
Anyway, let's get out of here. Hopefully not burn up in the sun.
Okay, yeah, you're able to get away from the sun. The ship starts cooling off, which is good for everyone involved because any of you who can sweat is drenched in sweat.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
I
even
think
I'm drenched in sweat. I mean, I'm used to having 2 suns. Like,
yeah.
Rosa, right?
Right.
Washin was trying to teach me a thing about meditation, and I was wondering if you could help me with that.
Okay. So, I recommend relaxing in the seated position, and right, you can see. Close your eyes.
All right, so she's gonna take her standard meditative posture, which is more martial arts than it is spiritual.
So
So-
Seiza rather than Anza.
Yeah. He was trying to get me to perceive things outside of my body.
Oh,
Well, you're asking
right.
the perfect one for that.
Okay. What did Master Skywalker say? Right. Blast helmet.
I'll flip down the
Okay,
visor.
yeah, if you look through the ship, which you can do from where you're standing, there are a couple of blast helmets here, or more accurately, helmets that have blast shields that can be lowered.
That'll work.
All
So
right.
I'll go grab one. We don't have a little training drone thing. Apparently, it's really annoying to turn off. So
Okay, while you're pondering that, Chuck, Brass,
Yes.
or more accurately, Brass, you do have, you've gotten away from the sun, everything's good like that, but you do have one of your 2 primary fuel pumps out, and you're drawing from only half of your fuel supplies. Are you going to try and make repairs on the system, or are you going to try and make repairs in another system?
How would I suspect that I can get to my destination with half fuel?
Tell you what, go ahead and roll me photography using mechanical.
Alright. And that was astrogation?
Yeah, sorry, astrogation.
2 + 1. That's 14.
14. Okay. You could definitely get to a couple of systems down the line, but if you're really trying to get to Abrigado Rey, you're going to need to make repairs and get a refuel somewhere along the way. Or at least, at the very least, get a refuel somewhere along the way. Because you do not have the range for this.
Alright.
Not on just one tank.
Yeah. Well, let's see if I know of any great refueling stations with a nice good pop culture.
Okay, let's go for it.
14.
14. Let's see. You are decently certain that there is a fueling station where everybody knows your name in the Allentine system. It's a ways down the line, and you might be kind of pushing it for your reserves, but, well, hey, it's just got such a catchy jingle.
Yeah, let's go there, yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be your plan, to jump into hyperspace and get refueled there?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me another astrogation.
With knowledge this time?
No, this is still mechanical.
Alright. Just making sure. 13.
13, yeah, that'll definitely do. You jump into hyperspace just as Rosa finds your collapsible Gungan stun stick.
Oh.
To answer your question there.
Sounds good.
Now, what was the damage code on that thing?
Strength plus 1d plus 1. Or 3d stun.
Yeesh. There's a low setting, right?
Yes, there's a low setting. And you can just, like, bring it close enough that it would zap a person without actually jabbing them with it.
Oh, good. I don't really need washing or the crew of the ship yelling at me, for torturing somebody or something. I don't know. It just doesn't seem good.
Probably not, no.
Maybe just buying a training droid wasn't such a bad idea.
Should have done that. Should have done that earlier.
Yeah, well, we'll make do. Right. So, this is set at the lowest setting, right?
Yes,
I'm going to show Graham's
set it
character
to a lower setting.
Okay.
So you're asking Galena this?
Yes.
It seems that way. It's hard to tell with the this writing. I'm not familiar with the language. I'm not that familiar with the language.
Right. Okay. Tell me how this feels, and I'm going to lightly tap her with it.
I assume it's unpleasant.
Give me a second here. Okay. Graham, roll strength. And Moonstruck, if you'd be so kind as to roll me a 2d plus 1.
Oh god. Okay, that's not so bad. 8.
8. Okay.
Oh, that's not so bad. Oh, I'm rolling 4
Could be
dice.
worse.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Luckily, I am actually.
You got a 40. Don't even bother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, still roll, but don't complain about this one.
No. 14.
14. Okay, yeah. It doesn't hurt so much. Well, I mean, it hurts, but it doesn't like gray out your vision or anything. That being said, you feel like all the hair on your body is standing on end.
I'm going to reach above my head and see if there's any stray hair. Just
You
like,
might have gotten a bit more body to your hair, yes.
no, I'm.
You might
All
be
right.
looking a little bit like Linda Hamilton in Terminator 1, yes.
I'm going to essentially pull my hair into a ponytail before we start doing this.
Right. So,
That wasn't so bad.
all right, cool. Put the blast shield down.
All right. I'll flick it down.
You are now blind.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Flash shield down, you can't see a thing.
Feel where I'm going to attack you from. And try not to get hit, I guess.
This is really bad. I don't even have a 1D in sense.
Yeah, this will be amusing. So yeah, you are kneeling on the ground with a blast shield over your eyes. So there's one of two things you can do. You can try and roll perception, or you can
Okay.
spend a force point to get enough to actually be able to roll for this.
Oh.
Your sense is a +1.
Yep.
So because I'm still one of those untrained mooks in the Force. I'm actually just going to try to channel the Force, and I won't see it coming, but I'm going to use control in that aspect to kind of help absorb it.
Absorb it. Okay, you can try.
I'm going to be as sneaky as possible.
Okay.
And clearly, what's that annoying part of your back that you can never reach? Yep.
Or are we talking about like right up in between the shoulder blades?
Right up in between the shoulder blades.
Okay. Yeah, so are you actually going to try and use perception, Graham, to see where it
I'll
might
try
be?
to use perception too, but
Okay. So roll your 2D.
That is an 8.
Yeah, that's not going to be enough.
Right.
You get jabbed with the electropole.
All right. And then roll control for the.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and roll control on this one, be my guest. You've got a 1D in it.
I got a 5.
Okay. Moonstruck, if you'd be so kind as to roll me the, I believe I said 2D plus 1.
Pretty sure he did because I heard a seething sound.
I'm sorry.
Apparently it was a 12.
Sorry.
So yeah.
We're going to retire those dice for tonight.
Oh, dearie me.
So did I get any bonuses to my strength to resist?
No.
The 5?
Because of the fact that you are untrained, this is a fairly advanced skill. You would have needed to get multiple 6s for this one to work.
Right.
Your concentration flies apart as the charge races up and down your spine.
All right. Now resist damage.
No, this isn't a damage situation. This is just a. My teeth taste like metal.
You should probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna like lift up the blast shield, like licking, trying to get the taste of metal out of my mouth. Like
You didn't bite your
felt that.
cheek or tongue or anything, did you?
No. It's just that everything now feels weird. I felt that in my jaw.
Good. That means that it's working. So blast shield down and we'll go again.
Okay. So, Brass Chuck, what are you doing as this is happening?
I'm just kind of watching, watching this play out.
Chalk, feel free to make color commentary if you wish. Brass, what are you doing?
Brass is. He is currently having a nice little gouge on a ration.
Okay, are you staying up in the cockpit?
Would we say that there's cams to watch it from the cockpit or not?
Well, I'm just saying that if you come out of hyperspace quite as unexpectedly as you did last time, you might want to have a better reaction time.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I'll probably stay up in the cockpit. Just have a nice little chow down.
Okay. So while you have your fly bar,
Yes.
I will
it's a
try
fruit
again.
fly bar. You could call it a fruit fly bar. There might be some fish in there. It could be fruit fly fishing.
Nice.
Right. So this is a good, easy one. I'm just gonna go for her left hand.
Okay.
All right. Ha!
What was your perception?
My perception was a 12 so far. I had to re-roll the wild die. Total of 17.
Total of 17. Okay. You notice it. What do?
So normal reaction.
More accurately, what you notice is you can feel the stun electro field on your hand, and it just about as it's to touch your palm. You've got 5 seconds to decide what you're going to do. 5, 4.
I'm gonna grab the weapon and pull it from him. You know, standard martial arts reaction.
Right. Oh, okay. Roll me that. And that's going to be higher just because of the way that you did that. Roll me the full 3D.
Okay.
3D for what? For the damage?
Yeah, you just grabbed onto the electrified stun prod.
That's true.
Ooh. Wow.
Okay. No more of any of these dice tonight. 18.
18.
Oh, damn.
Roll your 40 there.
Yep. No more of these dice tonight.
They all get retired.
No
No more
they're-
dice tonight.
I beat it by 1.
Okay. So good news, bad news. Good news, your vision doesn't go gray and you don't take an involuntary nap. Bad news, there was that time when you were a young girl when you wondered what would happen if you stuck those chopsticks into one of those power sockets. This is unpleasantly similar to that. And this time you're wearing a metal helmet.
Oh.
Your hand flies open and you get flung back from the stun field, which is actually a safety feature, which you would probably enjoy somewhat. However, what's that smoke smell?
Oh no.
Chuck, you notice that Galena's hair that is in contact with the helmet is smoldering a bit.
Okay.
This might make you vaguely glad that you don't actually have hair.
Ooh.
And can't smell it, considering you're wearing a breath mask.
Wow.
I think we're done for today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I felt it that time. Ouch.
You guys having shish kebab?
It's I think it's a lot easier with the drone. So maybe we'll pick up one of those sometime when we can.
Okay.
I'm gonna hand the staff back and then
And just go ahead and put it back where you found it.
yeah.
I'm gonna go take a nap and yeah.
Good. Think about this and we'll pick it back up tomorrow sometime.
Chuck, are you not going to mention the embers smoldering in her hair?
I'm gonna wait a second. I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
see
take
if
that. I'm gonna
gonna see
take
if-
I'm gonna take the helmet off.
Okay.
And
I mean, you can definitely smell that you've been singed pretty good.
Where is it? I'm gonna start patting my head because I do know the smell of burning hair. I've been on battlefields before.
Okay, yeah. So remember how you said that you went ahead and gave yourself a ponytail.
Mm-hmm.
So right below the scrunchy tie that you used to tie it off there, that's essentially where the helmet came down. And there's a line of char right across the back of your ponytail.
I'm glad I grew my hair.
I mean, good news, it's only hair. And
Gets a bit worse.
it'll be something for you to work on. And not totally blame me for it at some point.
I don't blame you. I should have restricted.
Fly.
Yeah. It's like I don't blame you. I blame my prior training that I'm trying to shake off.
Right, we'll go with that. Right. Oh, look, that bolt needs tightening.
And with that, I think we'll take a break.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
Folks, we'll see you next time on the next episode of this other team of Star Wars. I believe the other team has claimed the name the A-Team. Do you guys have any conception of what you would like to be referred to as?
The better team.
Team that doesn't need the first letter in order to be superior?
Team 1 it is. Okay.
Yeah, we'll go with Team 1.
So we'll catch you next time, folks. Bye.